Hello et bonjour, and welcome to something a little different from the Ask an Alien project. This will be a guided meditation to help lift the soul and settle the anxieties that we've all collected. We are honored that you would choose to join our little Ask an Alien family to spend some time on your own self-care and your balancing for today. We'll get right into this guided meditation in just a minute, but first, we want to make sure that you are ready for takeoff. Take a moment to make sure the place you're in is as calm and relaxing as you can make it. Turning down bright lights, turning off extra noise, making sure you're seated or lying down, or otherwise as relaxed as you can be. Before we start our journey, we must conduct our pre-flight checklist. This will make sure that we are grounded in this moment, that we are thinking only of this moment, not the moment before, and not the moment that follows next, but this moment right now that you're sharing with us. So we'd like you to look around the space you're in and find us 5 things that you can see that are pleasant, that are innocuous, or that are harmless. Perhaps it's a lamp or a nice picture. Whatever 5 objects you choose are the absolutely correct 5 objects that you're looking for. You can say them out loud or think of them in your mind, but take a moment now to find those 5 harmless things. Now we'd like you to close your eyes and tell us 4 things that you can hear. You might notice all sorts of different sounds. One of the sounds you might hear could be the sound of your breathing. Some people like to slow down their breathing when they're doing a guided meditation. You might find you breathe in through your nose and slowly breathe out through your mouth. This tends to help relax the body and slow down the mind, so you're ready for the journey ahead. If it's comfortable for you, keep breathing in a slow, rhythmic fashion, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Next, notice 3 things that you can feel. Sometimes, when people are doing a relaxing, calming meditation like this, people might feel the pillow under their head, or maybe where their arms are resting on a comfortable chair, or perhaps their feet gently tucked away beneath them. You might also feel your chest rising and falling gently and slowly as your breathing becomes more relaxed and calmed. On your next inhale through your nose, think of 2 things that you can smell. Could be the smell of fresh laundry, perhaps a nice flower, maybe it's nothing at all. Just see if you can detect a scent of 2 things where you are. Sometimes, when people are at this stage of their pre-flight checklist, they notice their arms are getting a little heavier as they rest on a comfortable surface underneath them. And finally, tell us 1 thing that you can taste. When we do this meditation sometimes, we're reminded that we need to brush our teeth more often, or maybe we need to lay off the coffee. And other times, we can't taste anything at all. But whatever you can taste, is exactly the right sensation for you. You might also notice when doing this stage of our checklist, your legs start to feel just a little bit heavier than they were when we started. Now that we have ground control, we need to make sure that you're ready for liftoff. So squeeze your lower legs nice and strong, and hold that squeeze for a second or two. Then release the pressure and finish with a nice, deep, relaxing breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth, with the exhale being perhaps just a little longer than the inhale. Moving our focus up the legs a little to your larger muscles around your thighs, quadriceps. Squeeze those as strongly as you like. Hold for a few seconds and then release. Moving our focus up to your belly, we want to do a nice, deep, diaphragmatic breath. Place your hands gently on your belly. Breathe in through your nose. Hold for a second or two. And then slowly breathe out as if you're breathing through your tummy, not your chest. Maybe let's try that one more time. Breathe in through your nose. Hold for a second or two. And then slowly breathe out as if you're breathing through your belly. Moving up to your shoulders, your upper chest, try to move your shoulders upwards and in just a little, as if you're trying to touch your ears with your shoulders. Some people find that around this stage, they're not entirely clear of where their back stops and the mattress or cushion they're lying on starts. Releasing the tension in your upper shoulders will move down your arms a little bit. And squeeze your hands into a tight, firm fist, as strong as is right for you. And hold this squeeze for a few seconds, and then release. We have so many things that cause stress in this world, maybe we better do that a second time. A nice, strong squeeze of your hands into a tight, firm fist, as hard as you can, but only as strong as you need to. And then release. Now would be a good time for a nice deep breath. Moving up to your head and your face. Let's try to scrunch all the muscles of your face together as possible, as if you just swallowed a lemon on a bright sunny day. Scrunch your facial muscles up really tight. And then release. Finish with another nice, deep, slow breath. That's in through our nose and out through our mouth. So maybe that exhale's just even a little longer than the last time. You might notice it's become a little harder to say where your head stops and the pillow or cushion it's resting on starts. Now that we're just about ready for liftoff, we need to make sure we're not carrying any excess baggage that'll weigh our starship of the mind down. And some people might find that the excess baggage we're talking about is our worries, our nagging thoughts, or anxieties about tasks that you have to do. You know there's still a few things that you'll need to attend to. But you don't need to attend to any of those things right now. Any project you need to work on, or job that needs to be finished, or message that needs to be responded to, all those can be done after we've finished our journey together. So take the excess baggage of all those little tasks and all those little thoughts and drop them out the side of your starship so they float to the ground, all the way down to the ground from as high up on the launch pad as you are, or even just from the chair you're sitting in. Let those thoughts land down far below you on the ground, and you can get to them later. But right now, you're spending all of your time, all of your deep breathing, and all of your relaxing on yourself. And that's perfectly okay. We need to take more time for ourselves so we can be the person we want to be for everyone else. Right now, you're doing the most important thing you could possibly do today, and that is taking some time for yourself and working on your own journey of healing and relaxation. We've heard people say that around right now, they might start seeing little images in their mind's eye as they start feeling more warm, more comfortable, and more relaxed. As you take another deep and fulfilling breath, let's launch into a journey of healing, a journey of self-awareness, and a journey of perspective. Imagine, if you will, that the room you're in starts to change. At first, it's very subtle. Perhaps the paint on the walls becomes a little more opaque. The ceiling above you starts to gently dissolve. And any concerns you might have had that were bothering you before seem to slowly evaporate into the atmosphere. Some people who find themselves in this state of calm, this state of self-care, and this state of deep breathing relaxation report that they experience a slight floating sensation, or that they're not entirely clear where their body ends and the chair or mattress they're comfortably ensconced inside starts. Others report a levitating type feeling, or perhaps that they're interacting with gravity itself in a new and pleasant manner. A feeling that everything that's been tying them down, holding them down, or fixing them firmly to the ground seems to be drifting away. And while the physical trappings around you seem to be melting into irrelevance, and you're left with the sound of our voice and your more pleasant thoughts and the slow rise and fall of your chest, you still feel supported and comforted. You know that in this moment you are safe, and in this moment you're okay, and in this moment you are performing the best possible care that you can for yourself. We notice that this tends to make us feel even more relaxed than we were just a little while ago. You might notice that this floating or anti-gravitational feeling seems to kick in perhaps a little stronger. Perhaps you feel that the earth itself is gently moving away from you in a downwards direction, and you are gently floating in an upwards direction. Despite the fact that our planet is traveling at a speed of 67,000 miles an hour, or 30 kilometers a second, as it revolves around the sun, you feel like you're traveling at the slowest and most relaxing speed possible. The fastest thing you're likely to observe is the slow, rhythmic breathing of your chest gently rising and falling, and gently rising and falling. As you start to transit through the upper edges of the atmosphere and start to be able to see the circumference of the earth and feel the gentle, warm glow of the sun, you might notice you're not just lighter from floating up, but also because of what you've left back down on the surface. Those nagging concerns that have been on your mind, the problem that seems to be taking forever to resolve, has been left back down on the launch pad. With every deep breath you take in, and every calm breath you exhale, you might start to realize that right now in this moment, you're traveling through space and time in a peaceful and serene voyage. Most astronauts have said that their attitude towards our planet changes once they see Earth from space. As you ascend higher past geostationary orbit, you might tend to agree with them. Take a gentle breath and notice the shifting weather patterns back down on Earth. It's strange to see how interconnected our global weather is, as we tend to just think about our local weather systems in our own area. But when viewed from space, we realize global weather is all interconnected in its own special way, as we all are interconnected when you really think about it. You might observe, as you move higher in space, and experience a different sort of relationship with gravity, then you can start to see the other inner planets, such as the rocky planet of Mercury, the cloudy and hot planet of Venus, and the cool red planet of Mars. The view from this high up is amazing, but the tranquil and relaxed and supported feeling you notice is even more amazing. As we gently zoom out further above the plane of the ecliptic, being the basic path that our planets follow around the sun, you can start to see the entirety of our solar system. The asteroids gently tumbling along in the belt, continuing their slow, infinite journey around the sun. And from here you can certainly make out the gas giants of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn. We wonder if you might even be able to notice some of the moons swirling around Jupiter and Saturn. They're very small from the perspective you're looking at, but you can see them if you're relaxed enough. The higher up we go, you can now make out the farthest outer planets of Neptune, Uranus, and even that pesky little Pluto. Is it really a planet? Or is it a planet candidate? We suppose it doesn't really matter. What matters right now is the deep, comfortable, supported, loving relaxation that you feel at this moment. In fact, at this point, you might be so relaxed and in such a state of calm and in such a state of peace with nature, because let's face it, space is nature. Planets are nature. The sun is nature. But you might not even realize you've made it all the way to the heliosphere, the outer edge of where the solar winds generated by our sun can reach. If you maintain this current trajectory of peace and the velocity of gratitude, with the forward motion of tranquility, you're likely to make it all the way to the Oort cloud, a final collection of rocks and gases that are affected by the gravity of our sun. By now, you might well have a fairly clear and astounding view of the local arm of the Milky Way galaxy. That bright linear cloud and light formation that you see, which we are traveling through at this very moment. From this vantage point, if you look outwards, you can see millions and billions and trillions of stars. And we'd venture to guess that the vast majority of what you're looking at isn't even just stars, but entire galaxies themselves. When we consider that in these galaxies there may be hundreds of thousands of stars in each one of them, all with their own planets circling around, really makes you begin to see the beautiful enormity of the entire universe. Which makes you wonder, why is it that people get so worked up about things that maybe really aren't that big a deal in the grand scheme of the universe? Maybe, just maybe, some of the issues people deal with and the concerns that they have aren't really that consequential when you look at life from a galactic scale. We'll let you enjoy the sensation of your anti-gravitational state of tranquility for a little while longer. But don't worry, we'll come back to bring you down for landing in a little while. it's time to begin our descent back down to the present moment. And we're going to start counting from 10 all the way down to our touchdown back on Earth. 10. You start to feel a slight vibration and change and a gentle movement back down in the direction from whence we came. It doesn't feel scary like a roller coaster ride, but feels more gentle, like a feather slowly floating down to the grass. 9. Descending a little further back into the heliosphere and noticing our solar system below as it goes about its business. It's amazing how the Voyager 1 spacecraft, which launched in 1977, has only just recently made it further than you have. 8. Feeling your altitude decrease a little further and noticing the colors of the planets has become just a little easier to see, perhaps just a little clearer. 7. A little further down and you notice how large Jupiter is in comparison to the rest of the planets in our system. Such incredible storms on Jupiter. Thousands of kilometers an hour. Around this point, some people start to wiggle their toes a little. 6. Descending further, you can clearly make out the asteroids in the belt. It's amazing to think of how much water is frozen in ice in several of the asteroids in the belt. It's at about this point when many people start to stretch out their fingers and wiggle them around a little. You notice the sun is brighter as you're descending further, and the pale blue dot that you see below starts to come much more clearly into focus. Some people will move their shoulders around ever so slightly around this moment. 4. The enormity of the Earth from geostationary orbit is an awe-inspiring sight to behold. And now you can clearly see the different weather patterns around the globe, and you could make out some sunny, warm, and inviting locations on Earth that you might like to visit one day. This might be a good time to wiggle your legs ever so gently. 3. Passing through the atmosphere, you're now on course for a gentle, warm, soft landing. We wonder if you might feel like moving your neck from side to side, just a little. 2. You're approaching the room you were in, and you seem to just dissolve through the walls and are aiming for a comfortable, controlled, soft landing back to your place of maximum comfort. This might be a good time to flex your arms just a little bit. 1. Touchdown. You're safely back in the comfortable spot you were when we started. Take a nice deep breath. Hold it in ever so slightly, and release that breath in a deep exhale of gratitude and tranquility. If you're feeling like dozing off, to go to a relaxing sleep after this, and if that works for you, then that's the right choice to make. If you feel revitalized and refreshed, and you want to get on with your day, then that's also an excellent choice. Having the freedom to choose how best to live your life is amazing. We hope you've enjoyed spending some time with our little Ask an Alien family today. And we hope that you can spend the rest of your day and the rest of your days just a little more tranquil, a little more calm, and maybe with a little less anxiety than before you shared this event with us. So thank you et merci, and we'll see you the next time on the Ask an Alien Project guided meditation sessions.